Oh, what a gorgeous, gorgeous evening here in New York City. A day like this is a gift. And if you come to the ballpark, you actually get a gift. And if you're one of the fans that sits in a seat, an extra added gift. Alex Rodriguez has hit himself into the lineup. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the Seattle Mariners in the first game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees won the series against the Tigers 3-1. In fact, they won the final 3 games of that series. Their offense picked up, and it really showed something in the 6th inning yesterday.
Yeah, 9-run 6th inning, and that was the ball game yesterday for the Yankees. Austin Kearns had a big double to the gap in left center field that scored a couple of runs early on in the inning. This inning actually lasted 35 minutes. Derek Jeter had a triple that drove in a run. And Robinson Cano, he actually had 2 hits in the inning, and this is what capped it. A 2-run shot straight away center field, his 24th home run of the year, one short of his career high, and the Yankees had 9 runs in the 6th inning on their way to an 11-5 win.
Well, the 3-game winning streak comes on the heels of the 2-game losing streak. During those 2 games, 138 batting average. They didn't hit the ball out of the park. Well, look what they did in the 3-game winning streak. 296, 15 extra base hits, 6 of them home runs. And they walked 18 times. That shows you their offense is starting to click.
Yeah, individually, the Yankees picked up the pace as well. You look at these numbers from these hitters during the Detroit series. Curtis Granderson against his former team, 6 for 13 with a couple home runs, 3 runs batted in. Robinson Cano continued his good hitting from the season, 5 for 15, 3 home runs, 5 runs batted in. Teixeira had a homer, 2 RBIs, and Austin Kearns stretched the hitting streak to 7 straight games, 4 for 9 in the series with 2 doubles and 4 runs batted in.
And now comes the hard part. How do you fight a monarchy? Really, it's unbelievably tough. King Felix on the mound. What will the Yankees do? What have they done? Next on Yes. Moments away from first pitch of the Yankees against the Mariners. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay, otherwise known as the Purple People Eaters. Interesting pitching matchup today, especially on the Mariners side, Kenny. Felix Hernandez has an under 500 record, but he doesn't have under 500 stuff.
Yeah, he's done very well against the Yankees this year, too. He's had 2 starts against the Yankees, 1 here at Yankee Stadium. That was on June 30th, and a complete game victory. Shut the Yankees down completely. Shut them out 7-0, had 11 strikeouts in the game, and just was overpowering. Then on the West Coast at Safeco Field in Seattle, he did an equally as good job. Pitched against the Yankees July 10th. Shut him down once again. In fact, the Yankees only got 1 run. They won the game on a grand slam by Jose Lopez, but Felix Hernandez, 2 complete games against the Yankees this year. He's been very tough.
All right, the New York Lottery pitching matchup has Hernandez at 8-10, 2.62, against A.J. Burnett for the Yankees, 9-10, with a 4.66. The first matchup that you'll see is A.J. Burnett picking up the baseball and staring in at Ichiro Suzuki. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, next, right here on Yes. to you in part by the 2010 Honda clearance. It's the only thing from Honda that won't last. By IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. By Pepsi Max, 0 calories maximum Pepsi taste. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Big Friday night crowd here at the stadium. The Yankees have taken the field, and A.J. Burnett is about to begin his warm-ups. So let's take a look at tonight's Mariners starting lineup that he is going to face, and it's presented by our good friends at Lexus. Mariners come in at 48-73. They lead off Ichiro Suzuki, their right fielder. Batting second and playing second, Sean Figgins. Russell Branyan, the DH, hits third. Cleaning up and playing third base, Jose Lopez. Franklin Gutierrez in center field will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing first base, Casey Kochman. Adam Moore will catch, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field, Matt Tuiasosopo. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is Josh Wilson.
A.J. Burnett in the middle of the diamond for the Yankees tonight to start off this 3-game weekend series. He's got a 2-1 career record against the Seattle Mariners. This is his record this season. This will be his 25th start, 9-10, trying to even it up at 10-10, 4.66 ERA, more than a hit per inning. Let's check out the scouting report. He had a tough loss in Kansas City. His last start, they lost 1-0. Yankees, A.J. Burnett beaten in the final game of the KC series. He's had 6 starts this year where he hasn't given up a run. He's been very solid. But he's also had 7 starts this year where he's given up 6 runs or more. So A.J., as Michael has said, sometimes he's very, very good. Other times he's not so good.
Yankees are hoping that he's very, very good because he has a tough matchup in Felix Hernandez. So you know Hernandez, who pitches to an ERA in the 2s, is not going to give up many runs. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense behind A.J. Burnett. In the outfield, it's Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right. Infield, Pena, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Cervelli is behind the plate, and Alan James Burnett is on the mound. Mariners have been playing better baseball under their new manager. Took over for the fired Don Wakamatsu. Darren Brown, a minor league pitcher who only got as high as AA, but has been managing successfully in their farm system. Has done a good job. But they are 19-41 on the road. Ichiro is ready. AJ's ready. Let's do it. And the first pitch is high, and we are underway.
Yeah, I think the Mariners are 9-6 under Darren Brown. But this is a long road trip for Seattle. I guess every trip they go on is a long one.
The 1-0. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit. So Ichiro does what he does and picks up a single.
Yeah, he's on pace for yet another 200-hit season. He's always on some sort of hitting streak. This will stretch this one to 4 straight games. Pitch right down the middle. He's not going to miss that. One of the best contact hitters you ever see in your life of watching baseball. And Ichiro's on with a base hit. Now he brings stolen base threat to the bag at first.
He's got 30. Sean Figgins has 30. And here's Figgins. Disappointing season for him. Coming over as a free agent from the Angels. 9-year, or should I say 4-year, $36 million deal he signed with Seattle. He's been closer to himself since the All-Star break, where he's hit 280 since then. But his average still under 250, so big disappointment.
Yeah, he got off to a very, very slow or poor start, whichever way you want to describe it.
Ichiro with 30 stolen bases and 37 attempts, and it seems it's easy to steal on AJ.
Yeah, well,
because he's slow to the plate.
Yeah, I think he's given up 29 steals, the most in the league. The Mariners will run. They are second in the league in stolen bases. Only the Tampa Bay Rays have stolen more than Seattle. And these first 2 guys in the batting order, the guys that have 60 of those 106 stolen bases that they have. We were talking about the long road trip Seattle's on. Cleveland, Baltimore, New York, and Boston. 12-game trip.
4-city, 12-game, and it's their longest road trip since 2004. Seattle always has the toughest travel of any team because they're not close to anybody. The 0-1. You take a look at a map. Seattle's up there, upper left-hand corner. Nobody's close. Kenny mentioned that Burnett has allowed 29 stolen bases, and that's in 34 attempts, so they're not catching many against AJ.
Yeah, all of these pitchers are right-handed pitchers.
That's a long flight that kid flew.
It's a good 5 hours, isn't it? More.
I like to think a bad 5 hours.
Well, he ended up in New York. That's good.
That is good.
Plus, you get a tailwind coming this way.
Yeah, it's quicker here than out there. It's about 6.5 out there. The 2-1. 3-1. Last time out, AJ pitched very well against Kansas City. But Bullington pitched better. And AJ lost that game 1-0. A complete game, 8 innings, 4 hits, and just 1 run.
Yeah, he gave up the run in the first inning. And in the first 2 innings, he was kind of a little shaky. But then he settled down. It was really tough from the second inning on. But the Yankees could not break through on the scoreboard.
Runner goes. Pitch is high. Hits ball 4. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. It's a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky right now. 84 degrees, humidity 32%. The winds are out of the north at 9 miles per hour. And the forecast is what it is. That's not a forecast. It's clear skies. So first and second, and that's going to bring up Russell Branyan. Fouled away.
Branyan's trying to break an 0 for 10, although he's been getting on base. He's had 8 walks in his last 5 games. And he's got a world of power. Russell the Muscle.
Runners go. No throw. Cervelli bobbled. So 2 stolen bases. 1 for Eacher and 1 for Piggins.
Well, they each pick up their 31st stolen base of the year, and I actually thought that Cervelli had a shot at getting Ichiro at third base, but he dropped the ball in his haste to get rid of it. Couldn't get it cleanly out of the glove, and Seattle now has runners at second and third and nobody out.
Branyan hitless in his last 10 at bats. Outside. Yankees will give up the run. The infield is back. The 2-1. That's going to get in more than 1 run. A deep drive to right center. See ya! 3-run home run into the Yankee bullpen. And just like that, Seattle's on top.
As we said, he's got a world of power. And he got one, I bet you, was up and out over the plate. That's where he likes it. His 17th home run of the year with Cleveland and Seattle. Came over in a deal. Yep, out over the plate. Got the arms extended. And when he gets a good wood on it, it's usually going to go a long way. And this landing spot's going to be the Yankee bullpen.
Here's Jose Lopez. Hey, I don't think it's any secret. A.J. Burnett has to pitch better.
Yeah.
Even if you think the Yankees are a sure thing to get in the playoffs, and it would look like they should be there, they need more than C.C. Sabathia. Andy Pettit's hurt. Phil Hughes is on an innings count. A.J. Burnett has to step up and just hasn't pitched well consistently. That one's popped up. Cervelli flips over on the bat in the on-deck circle. You can see it taking place, and let's see if he's okay. No fault of anybody. You have the weighted bat there, the pine tar, and he slipped and fell. And now he's looks like he's shaking up.
Certainly not expecting that. Most of the time, the bat boy will take that stuff out of the way when he sees a play coming in that direction. Maybe he didn't have the time to do so, but there's the weighted bat. He slips on it, not expecting, and he looks like he is shaken up. My goodness. He's walking around now, and hopefully he's going to be okay. Yeah, he's going to try and stay in there. But it could have been a lot worse.
Certainly an inauspicious beginning for the Yankees.
Here's one more look. He throws the mask away, but it's another piece of equipment that gets him. It's the weighted bat.
So Lopez gets another life. Let's see if he takes advantage. Count 1 and 2. And he does not take advantage of that second life as he swings through for the first out. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. And there's Franklin Gutierrez. Gutierrez, outstanding center fielder, but hitting .251. And he has 49 runs batted in, and that leads the Mariners. They average about 3.3 runs per game.
And lowest scoring team in the league. And another thing about the Mariners, Gutierrez, you talked about how good he is in center field. He hasn't made an error in 157 straight games, so he's a solid defender.
That is not solid ranking in the offensive categories for the Mariners. Last in runs, last in average, last in slugging, and on-base percentage. Last. New hitting coach is Alonzo Powell.
Got a lot of work to do. You know, a lot of people at the beginning of the year were Mariners were kind of a dark horse pick in the Western Division, but you're always feeling in the American League you got to be able to score runs, no matter how well you pitch and play defense.
Many people thought because of the acquisition of Cliff Lee, which is an aggressive move, that they had a chance to win the West, but everything fell apart. All the advances they made last season all went away this season, and they subsequently traded Lee.
Clubhouse harmony wasn't that great either. You know, with dealings with Ken Griffey Jr. eventually retiring and basically walking away from the team, just saying that's it, I'm done. And then eventually manager Don Wakamatsu was fired. The calling up of Darren Brown from AAA to manage the team, and a lot of the coaches were let go too, and a whole new coaching staff.
Hot shot, base hit. Cutting over is Gardner. He'll cut the ball off. Gutierrez is going for two. No, he holds up as the throw comes into Cano. He was almost halfway there.
He was, but a good play by Gardner in left field, and that's Gardner using his center fielder's type speed to cut the ball off, and I think the American League is starting to learn he's got good enough arm to throw people out. He's got 9 assists this year, another fastball up in the middle of the plate, and Gutierrez maybe not having the year that the Mariners thought he was going to have offensively. You thought he was going to go up another level. Last year he had a pretty good year, but this year he hasn't been the hitter they thought they would be, although he's a great defender in center, but he didn't miss this one. And Gardner actually is the one who held it to a single.
Dave Island goes out and tosses with Burnett, trying to stop it right here. 3 runs is already a very large lead when you're opposing Felix Hernandez, and the Yankees know it. They need to stop it right at this point. Here's Casey Kochman. You make a mistake location-wise, he'll hit it out. An outstanding defender at first, but has never been the hitter he needed to be to stay in the lineup. There's a strike. It looked like Kochman was going to lose his job when they had the Cliff Lee deal with the Rangers. Justin Smoke came over. but he got smoked. He couldn't hit.
He didn't hit with the way they thought he would. And eventually he went down to Tacoma. He's a AAA, and Kochman got his job back. But you get the feeling that eventually Smoke is going to be back. Switch hitting first baseman. They feel he's in the same mode, or eventually will be in the same mode as Mark Teixeira of the Yankees. That's a pretty good mode.
The 0-1. That could be 2. There's 1. And Teixeira can't come up with the ball in the dirt by Jeter, so Kochman reaches.
Looked like it was going to be a double play, and let's see what happens down at second base. Good throw by Cano to Jeter, right chest high, but the throw is low and in the dirt. Teixeira can't come up with it off the heel, and if the throw is accurate, you can see there's plenty of time to get Kochman for the double play. Ball in the dirt, and Kochman will be safe. On the fielder's choice, and Burnett's going to have to work that much harder here in the first inning.
Already thrown 23 pitches, and here's the catcher, Adam Moore. Fouled away.
Let's take it. It looked like everything was cool. It looked like Lopez came in a little high, and Jeter had to get the ball over his head. And the inaccurate throw to first base in the dirt. Short-armed it.
Count 1-1.
Like you were talking about the Mariners, they have a young team. Adam Moore is one of 14 players on their roster right now who spent time in AAA this year. The Yankees have 20 players who've been on the team all year.
And the Yankees have the best record in baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
Top of the first inning in Boston. Toronto leads the Red Sox 2-0. Red Sox got terrible news today. They lost Dustin Pedroia again. Obviously came back too quickly, and he's on the DL, and that could signal the death knell for them. The 1-2. Strike 3, Moore down looking. But the damage has been done. 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 left. The big hit, a 3-run home run off the bat of Russell Branyan. Mariners 3. New York Yankees coming to bat. And the shortstop, Derek Jeter. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and DHing Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Francisco Cervelli. And Ramiro Pena, the third baseman, will bat ninth.
King Felix on the mound. Felix Hernandez, just 24 years old. Seems like he's been around a long, long time. He's been around long enough to have a 4-3 career record against the Yankees and pretty good numbers outside of the 1-loss record. We take a look at the scouting report on King Felix. 18 runs, 1 run, 20 strikeouts. That's the 2 complete 18 innings, I should say, against the Yankees. 1 run, 20 strikeouts in 2 complete games. He leads the American League, 189 innings pitched and 23 quality starts. That means 6 innings with 3 runs or less. And that leads the American League. Although, to me, it should be at least 7 innings with 3 runs or less to get a quality start.
And it's weird because the Tigers just left town, and the person who came up with the quality start, longtime Detroit baseball writer John Lowe, he came up with that thought of a quality start. And if you think about it, a quality start is now a 4.50 ERA.
No, that's not good. It's got to be at least 7.
You would think. Count 2-1 on Gardner. There's a strike.
You know, fans might be wondering, how does Felix Hernandez have a record of 8 wins and 10 losses with a 2.62 ERA? Well, one reason this has happened to him is because he has the lowest run support of any starting pitcher in the league.
Swing and a miss, and Gardner's going to reach first. So that's a strikeout, and we'll see if it's a wild pitch or a pass ball. Mariners defense brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Matt Tuiasosopo's in left, and Gutierrez and Ichiro in center and right. Infield, Lopez, Wilson, Figgins, and Kochman. Third to first, Moore behind the plate. Hernandez on the mound, and as you can see, Ichiro with 9 straight gold gloves. Gardner reaches on the wild pitch, so he is a threat to steal. Here's Derek Jeter. Derek 3 for his last 16, 9 for his last 36. Big triple yesterday. Was hitless up to that point. Tripled over the head of Austin Jackson, who plays a very shallow center field, much more shallow than Gutierrez. And Gutierrez is a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. The 0-1. This could be a double play. There's 1, and there's 2. So Derek Jeter with that double play now matches his total from all of last year. I believe that's his 18th double play.
One reason they switched Derek and Johnny Damon last year in the order is to avoid the double play in the first inning. The feeling was if Derek was leading off, there's one less opportunity to hit into a double play.
Here's Teixeira, and there's a strike.
Hernandez has a very good fastball, mid-90s, sometimes a little better. Excellent changeup, great changeup, and very sharp breaker. He's got all the pitches. And he hides the ball well. You see by the body turn, and he shows you who's pitching. You can see the name on his back.
Here's the 0-2. 1 and 2. Right back to King Felix. And that'll do it for the Yankees. In the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 3-0 Mariners. these Seattle teams will be the first to win its first ever championship. I mean, the first ever for a team in Seattle. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Will it be the Mariners? Or will it be Pete Carroll's Seahawks? Or will it be the Oklahoma City Thunder, which used to be the Seattle Sonics?
Yeah.
It might be the Thunder, and that would really anger them in Seattle.
Didn't they used to be the Supersonics before that?
Yeah. All right, we go to the... she lives in Boston and loves the Yankees.
Notice she had dark glasses on?
3-0 Mariners on the 3-run home run by Russell Branyan. The 1-0. Foul back by Tuiasa Sopo. Tuiasa Sopo is from Washington, Bellevue, Washington. And he had a little bit of a Wally Pipp moment, didn't he, in Baltimore?
He did. In fact, I was watching the Mariners, doing my due diligence the last few days. There were plenty of orders. I was watching the Yankees, too. I do have a remote. So I had a chance. Oh, look at this. Bill Bowman was doing it. That's off Jeremy Guthrie. 3-run homer. See the mad scramble for the ball there in Baltimore.
But he wasn't supposed to be in the lineup.
No, he was not. In fact, 2 days in a row he had a 3-run home. And I think it was Langerhans had a migraine headache, had to leave, and didn't play. And Tuiasa Sopo, back-to-back days, 3-run homers, drove in 7 runs in the series. Seattle took 2 out of 3. And he's playing tonight.
2-2. And for those youngsters that don't know what Wally Pipp is or what it means being Wally Pipp, Wally Pipp was a Yankee first baseman who had a headache, got taken out of the lineup. They inserted a young man named Lou Gehrig, and Lou Gehrig went on to play in 2,130 consecutive games. So even to this day, players talk about being Wally Pipped. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Tuiasa Sopo down on strikes.
Third strikeout for A.J. Burnett. And this was a power fastball up in the zone. Here's a look at the arm action of A.J. Boom, right on by.
Blue Jays have jumped all over John Lester, and Toronto leads 5-0 in the bottom of the first inning at Fenway. Tampa Bay and Oakland later on. Both the Rays and the Red Sox lost yesterday, so the Yankees gained a game on both teams. The 0-1. Line drive, base hit to left field. So Wilson's on with a 1-out single.
Yeah, Josh Wilson at the 9th spot lately, swinging the bat. He's now got a 6-game hitting streak. 7 for 20 on this long road trip. It was interesting. I was talking to Dave Niehaus, the Mariners Hall of Fame broadcaster, and he said that the Mariners just came from Cleveland and Baltimore, and now they're going to New York and Boston. So now they're going to start playing the varsity.
There's Dave Niehaus on the right and former Yankee Mike Blowers on the left.
I got to work with Dave out in Seattle on those 3D games. He's like an institution out there.
He's done practically every single game the Mariners have ever played. I think he missed some because of sickness, some heart problems, but he's there from the very beginning.
Yeah, 1977 when the Mariners came into being, playing in the Kingdom.
The 1-0. 1-1. Ichiro did not think that was a strike. Ichiro does a lot of things that you would never tell a kid to do hitting-wise. He's moving both feet in the box, moving as he's swinging, but boy, it's hard to argue. He's recorded at least 200 hits in each of his last 9 seasons. He spent a lot of time in Japan as a professional player, and still he's going to end up with 3,000 hits here in the States. He's a special player.
He's already halfway to another multi-hit game.
Rookie of the Year and MVP in 2001. Look at those numbers. 10-time All-Star, 9 Gold Gloves. He had 262 hits in 04. That's the most all-time for a single season. And as I mentioned, 200 or more hits in 9 Major League seasons. Dribbled slowly at the first baseline, but foul.
You know, one of the things that he, career 300 hitter for sure. But with his speed, so much pressure on the left side of the infield, he's got 400, almost 500 infield hits, 497 of them in his career. That's a lot of bang-bang plays at first base. Oh, here's the scouting report. 10-time All-Star. Crossed that 49 out. It's actually only 48 multi-hit games.
Well, you're assuming.
Anticipating he's going to get another one during the course of the year.
Or this series. Or tonight.
Yeah,
he's already got one hit.
He's already got one. Well, Ichiro this year actually had something happen to him that has not happened in his whole career in the major leagues. He struck out 3 times in one game.
Was it against one guy?
That I couldn't tell you, but I used to do that once a week.
Runner goes. And there, your graphic is right.
Yep.
49 multi-hit games. Wilson will go to third. And Ichiro picks up his second hit.
I hate it when I'm right.
So 49 multi-hit games for Ichiro.
He's first in the American League in that category. There's Jeter going over the cover. You see Derek trying to hold his position as long as he possibly could, not to open it up for Ichiro. And he got it through there.
I know it would be a gamble, Kenny, but you just gave the stat about how he doesn't strike out. Why would you even cover? You know he's going to put the ball in play, right?
Well, say the pitch is a ball. You're going to let the guy steal second instead of giving up the first.
3.
Oh, it's ball 3?
Yeah, it would be ball 4.
Right.
Let's see if they can turn 2 here. There's one. And they double up the Speedy Figgins for the final out of the second. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 3-0 Seattle. Grand slam of his career. It comes off Philadelphia's Buck Ross in an 11-3 win over the A's. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. How perfect as we go to the bottom of the second with the Mariners up 3-0. Alex Rodriguez, who's closing in on Lou Gehrig's Grand Slam record, grounds out to third for the first out of the second. Kenny, I was curious. And when I'm curious, I like to ask questions. So let's first take a look at how Alex ran. Didn't really run at all. His left calf has been bothering him. He said before the game he was going to be station to station. They don't want him to hurt himself.
Well, easy ground ball to third. There's no reason to try and beat that out. It's easy play for Lopez at third. You curious?
All right, so the first inning is a strikeout, a wild pitch, Gardner reaches.
Okay.
And then Jeter bangs into a double play and Teixeira grounds back to the mound. So I started to think, what would happen if Hernandez retired the next 24 in a row? It would be 27 up, 27 down, minimum amount of batters, no errors, and no hit. Would it be considered a perfect game? And Cano hits a fly ball to left, run down there by Tuiasa Sobo. So I asked Bill Shannon, who's the official scorer tonight, and he's been in baseball forever.
Yeah.
Let's not even put a number on it, but it's over 35 years.
Are you trying to say he was the first official scorer?
Could be.
Yeah.
So he said to me, in this case, it would not be a perfect game because the wild pitch is his fault.
Okay.
There's Bill. But how about this? I said, okay, well, what if it's a pass ball?
Uh-huh.
And that's the catcher's fault.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know. He said, I've got to call somebody. I've never, ever heard of that. It could be a perfect game.
I think because the runner actually arrived at first base. It was Brett Gardner.
Right.
I don't think it could be a perfect game. Because if somebody's staying on first, he's working from the stretch.
Right.
I don't think it could be a perfect game.
But what do they say a perfect game is? 27 up, 27 down, no errors, and no hits, and no walks.
Yeah.
So none of those things would have occurred, and he reached on a strikeout and a wild pitch. But he said the wild pitch is the pitcher's fault, so it's not perfect.
And maybe nobody on base. Yeah.
Well, if you go by that, perfect would imply nobody reached base. Okay, then I'd buy that. But for Bill, who's seen everything, to say if it's a strikeout pass ball allowing, I'm not sure if it would be considered a perfect game. He said he was going to call the powers that be and see.
Who are the powers that be?
He didn't want to tell me. He refused to divulge that.
There must be a higher power.
My guess it would not be a perfect game because somebody reached base.
I don't think so.
The 2-2.
Meanwhile, the Yankees have an uphill battle against one of the tougher pitchers in the league.
Strike three. Swisher down looking, so the Yankees go down in order on 10 pitches here in the second inning. We go to the third. Mariners 3 and the Yankees nothing. Stadium. The Yankees have done tremendous things for people over the first 4 days, and today's honorees certainly have earned that position. Joanna and Melita Arias. For 16 years, they and their mother Maria traveled from boarding house to rented room to homeless shelter, sometimes scraping together enough money for only dinner that night. They lived really night to night. And the Yankees today made sure it was a very special day for the Arias family, and that's where Kimberly Jones comes in. Kimberly, tell us about this, because it's a very, very moving story.
It truly is, Michael. Joanna Arias is 20. She's the older sister. Melita, 17. Joanna works at McDonald's to help her mother pay the bills and, in her words, keep us afloat. Melita works at Wendy's. And there's always a little twist to these Hope Week stories, and here's today's. Joanna went with media relations representatives Jason Zillow and Jason Latimer to Wendy's today, surprising Melita and informing her, hey, we're all going to a Yankees game. Well, that was only half of it. When they got to Wendy's, Joanna, too, was surprised, because waiting there were Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, Francisco Cervelli, Sergio, David Robertson, Tony Pena, Ramiro Pena, a ton of Yankees. And they said, girls, not only are you going to a Yankees game, we're taking you to DKNY. You can pick anything off the racks that you would like. These are clothes that will help prepare these young women, Michael, in Joanna's case for future business or professional opportunities, and in Melita's case for college in the fall, when she will be a freshman at Baruch College in Manhattan, hoping to become the first member of her family to graduate from college.
Now, Kim, most players think they're the best dressed person in the world, and I'm hearing that the players' involvement at DKNY was very hands-on.
Oh, they had a blast. They were making sure they did all kinds of damage on those racks, Michael. Alex Rodriguez kept taking them clothes, and he told me that he relates to them because of their Dominican heritage, and also because they have a mother who worked so very hard during their childhood to provide whatever she could. Maria Arias is now ill, but she was here today at the stadium with her daughters. Here's a little twist, though, that had the girls smiling when I talked to them. Francisco Cervelli kept bringing them shoes to try on. They said he kept bringing us pair after pair. We loved it. I asked Francisco about that. He said, well, they're very pretty. I enjoyed every minute of it. And they said Robinson Cano kept bringing them skirts to try on. I checked in with Robbie. He said, oh, no, that wasn't me. But they said the players were so supportive and had so much fun with them. Melita saying, hey, we got used to that treatment very quickly. And Joanna saying, I want to thank everyone in the Yankees organization. She said, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and not believe this really happened. Today is a dream come true.
Russell Branyan pops the second. Jose Lopez lines the center. The 0-1 pitch to Gutierrez's foul back. Kim, finally, what about the sisters' future? What does it hold for them right now?
They are very bright girls, Michael. They were 4.0 students. As I mentioned, Melita's headed to college. She would like to be a school psychologist. She believes she can help others, especially kids, with her life story. Someday, she'd like to have a PhD and open her own practice. As for Joanna, her school plans were put on hold when their mother fell ill. She is, as I said, working at McDonald's to pay the bills. She had been accepted to Syracuse and hopes to enter the medical field one day. She says that furthering her education is definitely on her list. And, Michael, there is another surprise from the Yankees for these girls coming up later in the game. I can't give it away, but you and Kenny will be able to when it happens.
I can't wait for that. And thank you, Kim. Your recounting of all this has really brought us close to the whole situation. And as I said yesterday, the Yankee organization, this is something that's above and beyond winning games, and everybody involved with this should be awfully proud, because they're reaching into the community and helping people that really have a hard time getting help.
And, Michael, I'll leave you with this because I think it typifies all of Hope Week. Joanna Arias telling me there are people who've been through worse than we have. I'm thankful every day to have food and shelter. She said there's nothing you can't overcome. You just have to keep trying. There it is in a nutshell, Michael. That's what Hope Week's been all about.
Thanks, Kim, and we'll talk to you later on the postgame.
Thank you, Michael.
The thing that breaks my heart is that Joanna, who was accepted to Syracuse, which is a fine institution, had to give up her dreams because her mom fell ill and she had to go work at McDonald's. So I hope that somehow she can get back and do that and reach her dreams. That's the sad part. This is just one story of all these stories in this city, and the Yankees can only honor so many people. But today, certainly a nice gesture by them.
Yeah, I understand today is the final day of Hope Week.
Yes.
So, it seems like this year was better than last year. Well, hopefully the next year will be even better than this year was, as far as the Hope Week and the participants in Hope Week and what the Yankees can do.
Here's Kochman, and the 0-1 pitch is a strike, 0-2. Franklin Gutierrez with a 2-out single. He's 2 for 2 against AJ. We're in the top of the third inning. Yankees are trailing 3-0 in the first game of a 3-game set against Seattle. Runner goes, the 0-2. Check swing. No throw to second, so a stolen base by Gutierrez.
Gutierrez is one of the 3 players who have wrapped up several steals. This will be his 18th of the year. Watch Kochman here. Does he go after it? No, he does hold up. 18-2 in the stolen base department for Gutierrez.
And AJ wants to talk things over with Cervelli, just see that they're on the same page. Opponents are now 32 for 37 in stolen base attempts against Burnett. Let's go win Mega Millions, $100 million.
I'll split it with you.
Wow, I would. I'd even give you $51 million. The 1-2. Hot shot. And past a diving Cano into right center. Gutierrez scores. It's an RBI single for Kochman, and it's now 4-0 Seattle.
Stolen base comes up big. Gutierrez able to pick up 90 feet, get himself into scoring position. And it burns the Yankees as his base hit. Kochman hits it well. A fastball leaks back over the middle of the plate, puts good wood on it. Cano with the effort. Let's see where the ball actually gets, just out of his reach. And on into center field for a base hit. You know, as an infielder with 2 outs, you're taught to try and knock the ball down, keep it from going to the outfield, and it would possibly save a run.
Here's Adam Moore, who struck out in the first inning. 3 runs in the first inning on the Branyan 3-run home run. Now Kochman with an RBI single. Count 1-1.
More like Tuiasosopo had a big night at Baltimore. He had a 4 for 5 game with a homer.
Soft ground ball to short. Jeter will flip to second. They get the force there, and that will do it. But Seattle gets a run on 2 hits and 1 left. Melita and Joanna and their mom Maria honored at the stadium, and they threw out the first pitch as Hope Week concludes here in New York City. State of Sports Special. Sports business execs Randy Levine, Jerry Jones, Jonathan Kraft and Sal Galatioto break down the business behind their respective brands and delve into the future. It's all new tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. 4-0 Seattle over the Yankees. As we go to the bottom of the third inning. And the pitch to Granderson is low, 1-0. 7, 8, 9 in the Yankees order against King Felix. The first half for Felix, 7 5, 2.88. Pretty good, right? In the second half, his ERA is 1.93. And his record is 1-5 with an under 2 ERA.
He had a game, I believe it was against Cleveland, where he gave up 6 unearned runs in 1 inning. And that was in his last start. And that's how he took a loss in that game.
Granderson starting to turn his season around, 6 for his last 13 and 10 for his last 29. 3-1. And he walked it. So Bill Shannon doesn't have to call anybody right now.
I bet you look. W, walk, or BB, base on balls.
You remember the old story about Phil Rizzuto? He had a scorecard in front of him. Bill White looked down, and there was a lot of WWs on it. He goes, "What is WW?" He said, "Wasn't watching."
You know, when you think about it, official scorers, they got some tough decisions to make during the course of ball games. They're being hit, error. You know, sometimes the players get upset. You know, they think they should get a hit, and he calls it an error. You know, pitchers get upset, unearned runs,
sure.
Earned runs.
That's how people make their living off those numbers. The 0-1, 1-1.
You know, pitcher has a no-hitter going, and all of a sudden there's a play that could go either way. Although a lot of people say they like that first hit to be a clean hit.
And a strike. Toronto now leads Boston 6-0, top of the third inning. Cervelli got off to such a great start, but since June 1st, he's hitting just 182. His average at 244. Grounded to second. Figgins gets the force on to first. Pulls Kochman out the bag.
Figgins took a chance. He had to go to his left. Decides to go for the lead runner as they get Granderson in second. And Wilson's throw to first. Casey Kochman, knowing that he had to leave the bag to stop the ball and prevent an error, leaves the bag, and Cervelli's in first. Kochman's two of the better fielding first basemen in the game in this series. To Sheriff for the Yankees and Casey Kochman, who has not made an error, I think, in 273 straight games at first base. And that happens to be a major league record.
Pena playing third, with Alex Rodriguez having his calf balked just a bit. So Alex is the DH today, but Pena remains at third.
As you watch Hernandez pitch, and I mean, he's just 24 years old. How many 24-year-old Kings do you know? Not many.
In the old days, there were.
Yeah, exactly. But nowadays, I mean, the monarchy has a tendency to live longer.
That could be a double play. Oh, what a scoop by Kochman to finish it up. Saved the throwing error by the shortstop Wilson. 4-6-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the fourth. 4-0 Seattle. partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Here's a look at the double play ball. Figgins, the Wilson, and Kochman at the end somehow kept his foot on the bag and dug the ball out of the dirt. We told you he's a slick fielder at first base, and certainly that was a partnership play.
Well, time now for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Dating back to last season, King Felix has 3 straight complete game wins against the Yankees. Who's the last pitcher to throw 4 straight complete game wins against the Yankees? And we'll find that out in the bottom of the 4th. Now, in between innings, Kim had promised us at the top of the 3rd that there was another surprise for the 2 sisters being honored here during Hope Week, the last day of Hope Week. And Brian Cashin, the Yankee GM, was on the big board with the 2 young ladies. And Joanna, who gave up her college education at Syracuse to support the family, that's Joanna on the right. She was just told by Brian that Lincoln Hospital is offering her a paid internship. So she can do that and still support the family. That one is looped into shallow right, and it's a base hit off the bat of Tuiasa Sopo. So a leadoff single here in the 4th. And for Melita, who is going to Baruch College, Brian offered her a paid internship to work with the New York Yankees next year.
Unbelievable. Great stuff.
And
Great
so
stuff.
The 2 girls were just so choked up.
They hardly had words.
And I am as well. I mean, just it's so nice to be able to help people if you have those means. And the Yankees certainly have the means. And for what the organization has done this week, really, God bless them.
And thank Lincoln Hospital, too.
Yep. There's Josh Wilson. Count 1-0.
Imagine how thrilled their mom is. One thing the Mariners have done of late, we told you they've been playing in some of the poorer teams in the league as far as win-loss record is concerned, but they've won 7 out of 10 under Darren Brown, and they've won a season-high 4 series in a row. So lately they've been winning some ball games and bringing some life to their clubhouse with a lot of these younger players that they've called up from AAA that Darren Brown had in the minor leagues at Tacoma this year.
Foul back.
You've got a new bench coach in Roger Hansen.
Son of a former Phillies pitcher, Paul Brown, who was in the minor leagues for 10 years. I think the highest he ever got was Double-A.
Yeah, in the Blue Jays organization.
And he was named interim manager on August 9th.
Two of his coaches actually have big league experience. The hitting coach, Alonzo Powell, who actually came up to the big leagues before Brown did. He was called up earlier in the year when the Mariners let the hitting coach go. Powell played in the big leagues at Montreal for a while. And Carl Willis, who was pitching coach for Cleveland for 7 years, Carl, actually pitched with Minnesota and Detroit in the big leagues. But we saw him. He was the pitching coach for CC Sabathia and Cliff Lee when they won the Cy Youngs. There's Hansen and Powell. Hansen on the left, Powell on your right. So big changes in Seattle.
Yeah, it does bring to mind an age-old discussion about managers. If you look in the history of baseball, how many successful managers actually pitched? And obviously, he's a former pitcher, as we mentioned. And you could think of Tommy Lasorda, Dallas Green, Bud Black is doing an unbelievable job with the Padres and got a 5-year extension.
No surprise they have good pitching there.
Yeah. That one is looped into right field with the runner going. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Tuiasa Sopo will go to third. Wilson with his second hit, and Seattle is set up. Runners on the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, A.J. Burnett this inning been a little unfortunate. I mean, these haven't exactly been 2-line drives. Blooper in the right field, and now another one with the runner going 3-2. Just sliced off the bat of Josh Wilson. Drops into no man's land, picks up a base hit, runners at the corners, and nobody out. Kind of unorthodox swing. Looked like he was trying to hit it to the right side. You can see right on the label. So it wasn't hit all that well, but it was well placed.
So the captain goes in, has a quick talk with Burnett. Yankees are already behind the 8 ball. Felix Hernandez has not received a loss this year when Seattle scores 4 or more runs for him. Ichiro fouls away. What happened there with Cervelli?
It was a pitch that was low and inside. It was not going to be a strike, and Cervelli's trying to block it to keep the runs. I don't know how Ichiro even hit it.
I've never seen that. That was like cricket by Ichiro.
He's a magician with the bat.
There's a strike, more conventional.
I saw the GM for the Mariners, Jack Zarensic, is here on this trip, and I'm sure he's gathering information as who could be the next manager. And remember, Darren Brown's just the interim. If he does well, maybe he'll get the job. But he got 40 games to prove it that quarter of the season.
It's a desirable job because they have a decent-sized payroll, playing a beautiful facility, great city. You got Ichiro leading off.
Yeah, and
you got King Felix as the #1 starter.
Yeah, somebody said that Ichiro said that he would like Bobby Valentine to be the next manager, but he denied saying that. But there is a feeling that Valentine has a chance to become the manager of the Mariners.
Ground ball is short. Jeter gets the force. And Ichiro's too speedy. Run scores. It's 5-0 Seattle. Let's take a look at the pitch-by-pitch to Ichiro, brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Yeah, the first one's very interesting. How'd he hit that? First of all, it's a strike. To the corner, 0-2. Stays alive on maybe a bad pitch, and then he hits this one. Almost got it through there. Forced play at second, but he's going to pick himself up his 32nd run batted into the year as the Mariners score a run. I mean, there are other candidates. There's mentioned Dusty Baker because his contract's up with Cincinnati.
Cincinnati looks like he's going to win the Central.
I don't think they will let a manager go if you win.
You would think not.
They haven't won in a long time.
Unless he wants to go.
Yeah, that's true, too.
He's a free agent.
I think there's going to be a lot of choices for some of the better candidates, or some more experienced, maybe not better, but more experienced candidates at the end of the year.
And there could be more jobs opening up.
Yeah. You know, Bobby Cox is leaving the Braves. You know, Lou Pinella's leaving the Cubs.
You would think that Jerry Manuel's on shaky ground with the Mets. Yeah. That one is looped into left center field, and that is going to dunk in for a base hit. So Sean Piggins picks up a single. None of the balls in this inning have been hard hit, but hey, they count. And Joe Girardi's going to jog out to the mound. There's nobody warming up. So Girardi's going to say, hey, this is a chance for you to straighten out. We got to get you straightened out. We can't take you out here.
One thing I noticed right away, that Joe went to the high ground on the mound. He's not as tall as A.J. Burnett, but he went to the high ground so he could talk to him at eye level. And usually that's the manager trying to make a point. You're right, though, Michael. 3 kind of bleeder-type hits this inning.
No excuses. They all count, but Now he's got to bear down. He's facing Branyan, Lopez, and Gutierrez, the arguable heart of a weak lineup, but the heart of the lineup nonetheless.
Yeah, this guy doesn't hit bleeders.
No. He drew blood, though, in the first inning with a 3-run home run. High fly ball. Just missed. Granderson going a long way. I guess the wind took that for the second out. He caught that in left field. Now you can see he's telling Gardner kept coming back.
That was right there, almost in the same spot that in the first inning when he hit the 3-run homer. But this is way up. He got good wood on it. This is Granderson. I bet you any one of the 3 outfielders could have caught that one. That's how high it was. And Granderson telling Brett Gardner, hey, if somebody hits one up there that high again, which probably will never happen in his lifetime.
Pitch is low to Lopez.
Yankee fans might remember Lopez had the big hit on that West Coast trip earlier this season. The Yankees won 6 out of 7 on the trip. And the only one they lost was a grand slam by Lopez. Yankees were winning behind Javier Vasquez 1-0, and Lopez hit a grand slam off Java on a high fastball. He's a great high fastball hitter. And Java got one in the wrong spot, and Lopez turned it around. That was the Yankees' only loss of the trip.
$5-0 Mariners over the Yankees. See what Lopez has done the last 4 seasons. Last year, an outstanding year. 96 ribbies. Was an all-star in 06. This year, 241, 7 homers, and 46 runs batted in.
Well, this year they asked him to play third base. Now, last year he was playing second and first. They went out and got Sean Figgins. Figgins actually started at third, I believe. Then they switched to Ben.
I still to this day don't understand why they did that. Why make 2 people uncomfortable?
Well, I think because Figgins had played second before, and thinking that he might have more range than Lopez. And Lopez, his offense has dropped off since going to third base.
Count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Top of the 4th. 5-0 Seattle. The pitch. And the count goes full, so the runners will go. Toronto all over Boston. 9-0 bottom of the 3rd. John Lester obviously had nothing tonight.
You know, it's interesting about that because I think I read this week that the Blue Jays are actually, as a team, hitting only .216 against left-handers. So they're trying to make up for that season-long deficiency tonight against John Lester. You got a feeling they must have hit a few home runs. That team can hit some homers.
Bob Lorenz will have his cut in. I'm sure we'll find out.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Runners will go. 3-2. Still 3-2. Hey, I got to send out congratulations. Our good friend from WFAN, Sweeney Murdy, getting married today.
Is that today?
Yeah.
Oh.
John Flaherty is our correspondent at the wedding, so we'll find out everything that went on. But congratulations to Sweeney and his bride.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's a great guy, and happiness to both of them. 3-2. And it's a walk. And his wife's name is Jessica. And the crowd is really, really annoyed at what's gone on so far tonight, as the bases are loaded and still not one bit of stirring in the Yankee bullpen.
So Sweeney took the step, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's must be catching around here.
Here's Franklin Gutierrez. But that's the only thing, that's one of those things that you can only catch if you want to be caught.
Exactly right.
August has not been kind to A.J. Burnett. In his last 11 starts during this month, dating back to 08, 0-7, 5.50. The 0-1.
It's kind of hard to believe that somebody with A.J. stuff is having that much trouble in one particular month, because there are games where you don't actually win. The other team gives you the game, and you end up with a win. You know, they make errors, or the other pitcher is just horrible. But A.J. has really struggled during the month of August.
I mean, let's be honest. Other than his first 11 starts, he struggled this entire year. With his stuff, he should never be 9-10 on the team with the best record in baseball. And the count 1-2, and that's what he is. And he'd be the first guy to tell you, I'm not pitching the way I should be. He's honest. He's up front. He's not trying to elude the blame. Last August, A.J. was 0-4 with a 6.03 on a team that won the World Series. Crowd's looking for a strikeout. It's 5-0, and that's bad enough with King Felix. You want to stop it right here. Fouled away. With A.J., his stuff is good, his fastball is good, his breaking ball is outstanding. It's all about command. And, you know, your fastball, your curveball isn't great when you don't put it where you want. He hasn't shown much of a curveball today.
No. He had a good one in Kansas City.
The 1-2. Hit sharply to Pena. He gobbles it up. He goes the short way, and that'll do it. 1 run on 3 hits, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 Seattle. Quit line quiz answer. Dating back to last season, King Felix has 3 straight complete game wins against the Yankees. Who's the last pitcher to throw 4 straight complete game wins? Go back to 1974, Louis Tiant.
Little Tiante.
Kenny, how tough was he?
The reason why he was tough, because he had the whirling dervish sort of motion, threw all kinds of different pitches, and he got my attention right away in an exhibition game. First time I ever hit against him, threw the first pitch at me and knocked me down.
Really?
Yeah, welcome to the American League. In an exhibition game, Louis.
You know what I remember most about Tiant growing up when he came over to the Yankees? The Yankee Frank commercials.
He's funny. Lou's a funny man.
Yeah. Boy, they were every game on WPIX had the Yankee Frank commercials. Right back to Hernandez.
I remember when Louis was pitching, I don't know what team he was pitching for, but they were facing Frank Howard of the Washington Senators. And Howard, they said you got to keep the ball away from him. And he would hit rockets through the middle. So Louis kept pitching him inside. He hit a couple home runs, and the pitching coach goes after and said, Louis, what are you doing? We told you to pitch away from him. Louis said, he's not going to kill me.
The exaggerated motion where he'd turn and you'd see his number, the batter would see his number, and then when he would hold a runner on and he would just keep bringing down his hand into the set and stages.
Yeah, he's a showman, too.
Kenny, you didn't do that poorly against him. 16 for 63, 254.
That's under my lifetime. So,
but 11 walks, so brought up to a 360 on base percentage.
Yeah, my job was trying to get on base.
Swing and a miss.
Let's put it this way: he was no fun, and I knew it.
Jeter wrapped into a double play in the first inning. Yankees still looking for their first hit. Coming into tonight, Clay Buchholz has the best ERA in the American League. Then Trevor Cahill picked up a win last night against the Tampa Bay Rays, 2.54. And obviously Lester's going to fall off that list after tonight. Well, I shouldn't say that. We don't know how many of those runs are earned, so we'll wait to see.
How about Hideki Matsui helping out the Yankees last night?
I saw that.
Yeah.
The walk-off job, right?
I don't know if it was a walk-off, but I know it was a 3-run homer.
All 9 runs are earned, by the way. 2 innings, 8 hits, 9 runs against Lester. His ERA is now 3.26. The unforgiving numbers. Two. Just stayed alive.
Yeah, that is a nasty breaking ball. And the bottom fell out of that one. Now, wasn't there a rumor early this year that the Yankees were trying to get Felix Hernandez? Or was that last year?
I think it was last year because this January, Seattle signed him to a 5-year, $78 million deal. So there was some thought last year he could be acquired because they wouldn't be able to afford him, but they did the right thing and signed him.
You get the feeling, when you look at certain ball clubs and if they have their all-time players, let's say they had a Mount Rushmore, if he stays with the Mariners, eventually he's going to be on that Mount Rushmore, right? You got Randy Johnson up there, and Ken Griffey Jr.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line. That's the Yankees' first base hit of the night, and Jeter has himself a double. There's a face that'll be on Mount Rushmore.
Hit number 2,888. And Jeter now with 7 hits and 21 at-bats against King Felix. A sharp, ringing double into the corner. First hit of the game for the Yankees.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Hot shot, grabbed there by Kochman. Tough to get one by him. And that's the second out as Jeter moves to third.
Not only are Teixeira and Kochman, I mentioned they're both excellent fielders, but they make the plays look so easy, even the difficult ones. That was a bullet. Looked like it was headed for right field. And you see the look on Teixeira's face. He knew he hit it well.
273 without an error at first, and that broke the previous mark set by Kevin Youkilis of the Red Sox. Well, this is not a good sign, as Austin Kearns is going to pinch hit for Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez hit a ground ball to third in the second and hardly moved out of the box, and it's not a good thing because they held him out of 3 games, and then they kind of restart the clock again. You can't backdate once somebody appears, and this is what Alex did. It doesn't matter, Kenny, how much you swing in the cage. Nothing simulates game action.
No, your adrenaline gets going, and things are accentuated. And maybe Alex realizing that tonight's not the night to be in there. And Kearns comes in with a 7-game hitting streak.
There's a strike. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Austin Kearns, as a pinch hitter, strikes out and leaves Jeter at third. You decide. Yeah, it looked like he went around. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 4 here at the stadium. It's been all Mariners. Well, thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob in the 7th, and then, of course, on the postgame with Kimberly Jones. We go to the top of the 5th inning. It's 1-0 now on Casey Kochman. It's 5-0 on the scoreboard in favor of Seattle. Mark Teixeira returns the favor. Not as difficult to play, but he puts it away.
We got some Yankees entourage from Smithtown out on the island. You ever watch that show, Entourage, Michael?
Yo.
Oh, on HBO?
Every day.
Great show.
Every Sunday. Yeah. Now, that's Frank Catalanato's town.
Yeah,
right?
Frankie C.
Yeah. Was with the Mets at the beginning of the season and was let go. Great guy. Great guy. Here's Adam Moore. Hey, interesting stat. You just saw Teixeira make that play. Yesterday, he made a tremendous play on a Johnny Damon pop-up in the foul territory. Line drive base hit for Adam Moore. Now, here's the play that I'm talking about that he made off Johnny Damon's pop-up. Just an outstanding play.
Sounds like a broken bat, and 3-1. He had 3 chances, and the third one was a charm. He makes the play.
Well, how about this, Kenny? It was his 41st put-out on a foul ball this season. Teixeira has caught more foul balls for put-outs of any Major League player this year. And he has 5 more than the runners-up Derek Barton of the A's and Evan Longoria, was a lot of foul territory, obviously, at St. Pete, Tropicana Field, but Derek Barton has it
the
at
most.
at the, whatever they call that now, Coliseum in Oakland. What is that again?
Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
No, it's sponsored by something now. It was McAfee. Okay, so back to what it was. I don't even remember what that stadium looks like.
Well, we had 2 trips there this year.
I know, I did.
You're right. There's a lot of foul territory, and you would figure Barton would be among the top 3 or top 2.
Now, this ballpark does not have a lot of foul territory. So, to share it, have that many putouts shows you the range that he has down the line, where he's covered more ground than anybody else.
And actually leaning into the seats and making plays, too. 41, did you say?
41.
Now, I remember 2 that he made in Oakland. You weren't there, but he made these 2 great plays where he ranged almost all the way to the dugout and made the plays. I mean, that's a good sprint of maybe 40 yards and made the play. 40, 50 yards.
Well, there's no denying he's outstanding. And I think that maybe a couple of Yankee fans might have forgotten what a great first baseman means, because they had Mattingly for 13 years, and then they had Tino for all those years. And then you had Giambi. And no offense to Giambi, but he wasn't a very good first base. He knew how to scoop the ball out of the dirt, but he didn't have range, didn't have an arm. And then here Teixeira shows up, and it reminds you of Mattingly and Tino.
Almost on a nightly basis, he comes up with at least one sparkling play.
High fly ball. Center field. Granderson for the second out.
And it's hard to put a value on it. Well, he gets a Gold Glove, but imagine the number of runs he's saved over the years. Last couple of years here with the Yankees. And the errors he's saved for the infielders.
Rip foul by Josh Wilson. I always feel funny prefacing the comment by saying no offense to Jason Giambi, which leads you to know that it's going to be offensive. He wanted to be a better first baseman. He just wasn't a great first base. He was a good hitter. That's why they signed him. So I should never say no offense, because that usually means you're about to offend someone.
And that's why he ended up being a DH more often than not.
The 0-1. High fly ball. Deep left. Gardner's back, and he'll make the play for the final out of the 5th. No runs ahead, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. It's 5-0 Seattle.
Excel Express. Enjoy the journey. Well, the Yankees continue their series tomorrow afternoon here at the big ballpark in the Bronx, and then again on Sunday. 1:05 game starts. They close out the homestand and on to Toronto, and then off day, and then on to Chicago. I was actually on that Excella this morning on the way up to New York. What a ride. Best way to travel up the Northeast corridor. Here's Robinson Cano, takes a pitch for a ball. Hernandez deals, and this next one's downstairs too. 2 balls and no strikes. Cano, Swisher, and Granderson. Yankees trailing by a score of 5-0. They've only had 1 hit against Felix Hernandez, who continues his mastery of the Yankees. He already has 2 complete game victories against the Yanks this year. Pitch is low, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Think about it. This young man's just 24 years old. And 4 pitches out of the strike zone. And Cano draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That is the second walk handed out by Felix Hernandez to go along with 3 strikeouts, and it'll bring up Nick Swisher. Swisher was one of the 3 strikeout victims. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Was called out on strikes. Good Friday night crowd on hand. They're looking for something to cheer about here. Yankees would run, hit, and 2 walks. That's it. Pitch is hit on the ground and into right field for a base hit. Cano's going to turn and stop at second. Of course, Ichiro with a very strong arm in right field. So the Yankees had the first 2 men on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The first time in the game the Yankees have had 2 men on in an inning. Second hit is Swisher. Delivers a single right field. So 2 on, nobody out. It brings up Curtis Granderson, who's been swinging a pretty good bat lately. He drew a walk in the 3rd inning. Granderson has a 3-game hitting streak going. He's 10 for his last 29.
So the Yankees with a threat, 1st and 2nd. And here is Granderson. Outside, 1-0.
You can tell the crowd is just waiting to let loose here. Get something going.
Inside. Crowd is poised, ready, looking for something to cheer about. The 2-0. Ground ball to Kochman. Tough hop, but he still gets the out at second. Ball was rolling up his wrist, stayed with it, and fired to Wilson to get the force on Swisher. Moving to 3rd, Cano.
Yeah, soft hands on the play by Kochman as he cradled the ball to his chest. And watch the last hop. About ready to field it. It comes up on him. Looked like it hit him in the E in Seattle. No E in this case. He hadn't made an error in 273 games. There's that last hop off the heel of the glove, cradled to the chest, and he gets the force on Swisher at second.
Kenny, with his glove, all he has to do is hit 250, and he hasn't been able to do that. He'd have a job. Well, he's going to have a job as a backup infielder with that glove. Here's Cervelli. Now 1-0.
You get the feeling that as soon as Judson Spoke gets it together in the minor leagues, it's going to be his job. I mean, they traded Cliff Lee for him, so he's going to get every opportunity to have the job at first base.
The 1-0. Boy, that got a piece of more. Count 1-1.
Oof, man.
Flaherty insists it does not hurt.
He just doesn't remember.
He repeats it over and over. He's probably saying it right now at Sweeney's wedding. One. Check swing. He does not go. Is that Branyan Knight? First base up.
Yeah, ball definitely dives down out of the strike zone. More with an appeal. It's denied. Look out. One Venezuela knocks down another one. Like a two-seam fastball riding up and in, and particularly after that breaking ball down and away, Cervelli's thinking, I got to guard the outside corner. And he has to vacate the premises.
Pitch outside, so the bases are loaded as Granderson was going on 3-1.
Second walk this inning. You know, you saw the manager, Darren Brown, there, along with the pitching coach, Carl Willis. This is Darren Brown's first ever trip to New York.
In his life. That's amazing.
He's from Oklahoma originally. That's a long way from New York.
Bobby Mercer made the trip. Mickey Mantle made the trip.
Yeah, they did, for very good reasons.
So the Yankees with their first threat, bases loaded, 1 out, but the number 9 hitter is at the plate. Ramiro Pena, he wrapped into a double play. His first time up, 4-6-3. Brett Gardner is on deck. Nice breaking ball for a strike. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. 2 away. Pena down on strikes.
Hernandez reaching back for a little extra. 3 pitches and Pena's gone. Looked like the changeup. He's got a good one. Where's that hat? A little bit like CeCe.
Here's Gardner. And there's CeCe. Gardner reached on a strikeout wild pitch in the first inning, then tapped back to the mound. Pitch is high, 1-0. With the bases loaded this year, Gardner is 4 for 9. Fouled away. And this is what makes Hernandez so tough, because there's a lot of things he can go to with 2 strikes. He can go to that blistering fastball. He's got that great change. He's got a pretty good curveball.
He's got everything.
Yeah, he's got everything. And a batter now can't look for anything. He's just got to protect the plate. Play everything off the fastball. He has 176 strikeouts. Wouldn't mind 177 here. But he doesn't get it. Count 2-2.
95 with the fastball, mid-90s, 82 with the changeup. Good sharp breaking ball. Hides the ball well. Turns his bat, well, not as much on the stretch, but certainly from the windup.
With 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So the Yankees threaten but can't get the big hit. No runs a hit and the bases are left loaded. We go to the 6th. Teams will be the first to win its first ever championship, and you've been texting us at 58772. Here's how you voted. Boy, a lot of belief in Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. 72% over the Mariners. I would agree it'd probably be the Seahawks. Pitch to Ichiro outside. Ichiro was really bred to be a baseball player. He was raised to be a baseball player. And the strange thing is, Ichiro in Japanese means first son. Unfortunately, he's the second-born son, which probably makes his brother feel really terrible.
Doesn't Ichiban mean number one in Japanese? Ichiban, yeah.
Ichiban,
yeah.
And Ichiro is firstborn son. Most hits ever in a single season, 262. And Ichiro walks. So he's on base for the 4th time. And Burnett with 102 pitches.
The Yankee bullpen is starting to stir. Let's check go down. Heating up in the bullpen.
There's Sean Figgins. And there's a strike. It made you wonder when the Mariners were able to snag Figgins as a free agent. Why would the Angels give him up? And then you figure, well, the Angels must know something. But the Angels said they didn't want to give him 4 years and that much money. And I actually believe that the way it turned out, it didn't help either team. I think the Angels have really missed Figgins, and Figgins hasn't meant that much to the Mariners.
Well, number one, the Angels have been looking for a leadoff hitter all season long. And he was sort of the one who would jumpstart their offense. But in the postseason last year, maybe this is the reason why he's in Seattle. couldn't jumpstart the offense in the postseason, facing the top, pitchers who are having good years. I mean, lately, Bobby Abreu's been leading off for the Angels. And coming to Seattle, they already have a leadoff hitter.
Kind of overkill.
I was in the Mariners clubhouse before the game, and Ichiro was stretching and actually swinging back near his locker and stretching. I mean, he is one of the most limber people I have seen.
Hot shot, double play. Even a limber person couldn't get back.
Figgins. Teixeira. That quick. Figgins, Teixeira. There it is, double play.
Been that sort of season for Sean Figgins. Here's Russell Branyan. He had a 3-run home run in the first inning into the Yankee bullpen. And Branyan, to this point, and this is the second year of the new ballpark, is the only person to hit the windows of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar out there.
He's the only one to make those people duck for cover. That's a long way, though.
He's giving it another run. Going out there, Granderson looking up. See ya! Into Monument Park. Second home run for Branyan. It's 6-0 Seattle.
Branyan's now driven in 4 of the 6 runs. And this one's over 400 feet to straightaway center field. I thought it had Mohegan Sun written on it, but no, not quite. But still a long home run off the bat of Russell Branyan. And he can hit him a long way.
Ground ball to third. Lopez is out, and that'll do it. And that'll do it probably for A.J. Burnett. A rough 6 innings, and in the 6th inning, Russell Branyan goes yard for the second time. Hitting it where the legends live here at Yankee Stadium. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Yes, is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Derek Jeter leads off the 6th inning, and Felix Hernandez starts him off with a strike. Well, Burnett gave up 6 runs and 12 hits. That's a season high for him over 6 innings. Hernandez, 2 hits in 5 innings and no runs. And Branyan has 2 home runs and 4 ribbies, 6-12-0, leading 0-2-0. And that's our game summary up to this point. Jeter, Teixeira, and Austin Kearns. Fights it off and fouls it off. Looks like it's close to another sellout crowd here at the ballpark. Very, very few empty seats that I could see. But that's the way it's been most of the season. It's always at 46, right around there. Yesterday, 48,000. And that one is lined into center field. Gutierrez makes the play.
Jeter just about played perfectly. Just a step or two towards right center. And Derek hits it on the line. Second ball in a row. He's hit very hard. He had the Yankees' first hit. You see him stay low. He wants the ball to get down, but not this time. Stays up just enough for Gutierrez to run underneath it and make the play.
Swing and a miss. Teixeira grounded back to the mound, then grounded to first. Nice play by Kochman. Strike 3. Teixeira down looking.
Like I'm telling you, watch Hernandez pitch, and you wonder, how does this guy have an 8-10 record besides the fact that they don't score that much for him? Good sharp breaking ball, drops in for a call strike. Certainly one of the best, certainly young pitchers in the league, just 24 years old.
Shows you need some support,
yeah,
no matter how good you are. Here's Kearns. He pitched it for Rodriguez in the 4th. Alex missed 3 games with a strained left calf. And worked his way back into the lineup after a pretty good batting practice. He was a DH, hit a ground ball to 3rd in the 2nd. Didn't run well out of the box, and we didn't see him. And now we see Kearns with a single to keep the inning alive. 3rd hit for the Yanks.
And also now an 8-game hitting streak for Austin Kearns.
Here's Cano. Swing and a miss.
I was talking to Kevin Long, the hitting coach, prior to the game near the batting cage while Robinson Cano was hitting. And I mentioned to him that, I was at home watching the Detroit series, and it looked like there were a couple of pitches that Cano was actually beaten on. But his bat speed at the end, the last 6 inches of his swing, were so quick that he got the good wood on the ball, particularly the double to left center yesterday that drove in some runs, got the Yankees started in a big inning. And then the home run, looked like he was a little late on that one, still got the barrel of the bat to the ball quickly. And then I was talking to Kevin, I said, the guy had the fastest bat ever, so was Hank Aaron. The last 6 inches, when you stand the outfield, the last 6 inches of his swing was a blur. You couldn't see the bat and get to the ball. Other guys, you can see the bat come through the zone, but his was so quick, and it just hitting home runs and line drives. And Cano kind of reminded me of that as I was watching the game yesterday.
The 1-1. 1-2.
Now here's a home run swing yesterday. It looked like he's beaten on this pitch. It's in, and quickly hits the barrel of the bat to the ball. And over 400 feet. The whole thing's not how hard you swing it, how quickly you get the bat through the zone. Just bat speed. And when you make contact, it increases the force in which the bat head hits the ball and powers it.
Tied him up. He checked his swing, said Jerry Davis.
And as you get older and start to slow down, what happens to you is that you can't generate the bat speed anymore. It's not there. And all of a sudden, you can't hit the ball as far. It doesn't come off the bat as quickly. And it's time to do other things.
2-2. Strike three. Cano down looking. Poured a fastball right over the middle of the plate. Cano took it. No run to hit. One man left. We've played 6. It's 6-0 Seattle. To see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Tomorrow, the Yankees take on the Mariners. It's Collectible Truck Day. The first 18,000 fans 14 and younger will receive a Yankees collectible truck. It's the 6th in the series, courtesy of W.B. Mason. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Well, they are keeping in A.J. Burnett despite 109 pitches. And I think, as you see, the Verizon Wireless scoreboard shows you the Mariners up 6-0. I think that was the crux of that trip to the mound by Joe Girardi earlier. Listen, you're in here. I'm not burning my bullpen. You have to gut it through. Because if it was a mechanical thing, they would have sent out Dave Island.
Yeah. So you can see what Joe wants. He wants to get 7 innings out of him before he goes to the bullpen. Got a day game tomorrow. So a quick turnaround for both of these teams.
1-2. Gutierrez with 2 hits against AJ. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. A big night for a young man named Jake Taylor III. Ford Fiesta, driven in from the outfield, coming along the warning track. And Jake Taylor III won the Fiesta, and Derek Jeter autographed the dashboard. That's a pretty nice gift to get here at the ballpark. Enjoy the Ford Fiesta. Pretty cool. Remember when they used to bring in the relief pitchers at the stadium with the car? I wonder if that increased the value of the car. I think it does. Derek Jeter on the dashboard.
You know what?
That one is ripped to right, but foul off the bat of Kocher.
I didn't see any cars today with Derek's autograph on it while I was downtown.
Goose Gossage once told me this story. When he first got to the Yankees in '78, he was terrible the first couple of months. Couldn't get anybody out.
How come I don't remember that?
Grounded very softly to first. And there's one away, or two away now. And he was getting in the car. Billy Martin called for him to come in. And the car was, where the gate used to open, where Mariano would walk out of.
I remember that.
And all of a sudden, the guy driving the car can't go. Mickey Rivers was spread-eagled on the hood of the car saying, "No, don't let him go in." And Gossage had to poke his head out the passenger window. Get off the car.
Well, that's shortly thereafter that kind of straightened out, because
you came in today, got a little mini fest. Not like Jake Taylor got.
You get a little decal of Mickey you can put on it. The thing about it, as we said, Goose certainly straightened that out, the situation out. And then when he did come in that car, the other opposition knew that you'd messed up. Didn't want him in ball games.
The year before, when Sparky would come in the car, they would play Pomp and Circumstance, which is a great entrance. And for those that don't know what Pomp and Circumstance is, that's the song they play at graduations. And he would throw his jacket to the ball boy and stride to the mound, and they won the Cy Young Award in 1977. Well, this is now the most pitches that AJ has thrown this year. It's the most he's thrown since July 17th of last year. He's at 121. 2-2. Ground ball to second. And how about that? In the seventh inning, that's his first 1-2-3 inning. As the Mariners go down in order, 1-2-3. The end of 6.5. Time for the seventh inning stretch. Mariners lead the Yankees 6-0, but we're going to stay right here and honor America in the Bronx.
Silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
on the postgame along with Kimberly Jones. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's been all Seattle tonight. 3 runs in the first inning for the Mariners, and you see on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard it's 6-0 right now. But after the 3-run home run by Branyan, they have not looked back. And Felix Hernandez certainly shackled the Yankees. Nick Swisher swings and misses.
Yeah, you had a feeling it was going to be an uphill battle. Hernandez not used to such a wealth of run support. He's got nasty stuff. You go into a game like that, you know you could be in for a tough night, and you figure if you're going to score against him, score enough to win the game, it's almost like you're going to have to do it all at once when he's having a bad stretch during the game. You're not going to have several opportunities to score against him. You know, a pitcher is dealing with a 2.62 ERA coming into the ball game. You got to hope that he has that one bad inning where he just can't find the groove, and all of a sudden the little hits are falling in here and there. Maybe he walks a couple, then somebody hits one out of the ballpark, and before you know it, you got the lead. But you got to start that at the beginning of the game. You can't be down 6-0 against somebody like this, who's the type of pitcher. You're not going to have that inning where you're going to score a bunch of runs against him. It's very difficult.
Well, they might have had their chance in the 5th inning where they had the bases loaded and 1 out, and they couldn't get it done.
Exactly. Yeah, he had a little problem there. He walked a couple that inning.
Swing and a miss.
Man, he's dealing now.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Jason Vargas has a nice record for the Seattle Mariners, 9-5, 3.15 against Javier Vasquez, 9-9 with a 4.89. Our coverage is going to start at noon here on Yes. First pitch will be right around 108, 109.
Yeah, I was thinking back to this, facing somebody like Ron Guidry. The same sort of situation applies. He's got to have that one bad inning, and plus, not only that, your pitcher has to have a good game and make sure that you hold the other team down.
Or you've got to outlast him.
Yeah.
And that's how the Yankees used to beat Pedro. It always seemed to be Mike Messina against Pedro. They match zeros. Yankees would get into the Red Sox bullpen, and that's how they would win the game. This is what he's done against the Yankees this year. 24 1/3, just 1 run, 28 strikeouts. Count 1 and 2.
He took a little off of that one and dropped it in 80 miles per hour for a strike. When it came down to Hernandez signing his first contract, it was between the Yankees and the Seattle Mariners. And he got away. Seattle signed him.
Count 3 and 2. Granderson's reached on a walk and a fielder's choice. Last year, Hernandez was runner-up for the Cy Young Award to Zach Greinke. 19-5, 2.49.
I think what Hernandez had going for him, I believe he had the most quality starts.
And that's how the voting broke down. And that's how Granderson gets broken down. The last 4 outs have all been strikeouts. Hey, you traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Hernandez has had at least 1 strikeout in every inning but the 3rd. And in that inning, he got a double play.
Fouled away.
Remember, we were talking about a quality start should be 7 innings with 3 runs or less. Last year, Hernandez had the most such games in the league.
A little jelly leg there by Cervelli. Kind of flinching on the breaking ball.
Here's what Michael's talking about. There it is. I think that the jelly leg was started by Roy Campanelli of the Dodgers. He was the first one to call it the jelly leg.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think it was because of Carl Erskine's curveball. The Dodger pitcher had a great curve, and he had the same effect with right-handed hitters that you saw in Cervelli. And he called it the jelly leg. That was back in the 50s.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. What an impressive inning for Hernandez. Yankees go down in order, and we go to the 8th inning. It's 6-0 Mariners. Company owned by its policyholders and by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT Rethink Possible. And it brings in Chad Godin. So a rough 7 innings for A.J. Burnett. And allows Godin to get 6 outs as he starts the 8th with the Yankees down 6-0. Matt Tuiasosopo will lead off, 1 for 3 tonight against Burnett. Ground ball to Jeter. 1 pitch, 1 out. Tonight and throughout the Yankees season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Felix Hernandez, number 2, Russell Branyan, number 3, Ichiro Suzuki, number 4, Franklin Gutierrez. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here's Josh Wilson, 1-0.
Talk about Ichiro being limber. Look at him in the on-deck circle there. Look out.
And Wilson gets plunked.
Nowhere to go here for Wilson except first base. I thought they hit it more solid than that. Looked like he just got the uniform. He's headed to first. Ichiro just get a little looser.
The other day, Chad Godin caused some controversy when he hit Miguel Cabrera. Ground ball to Cano. Flips to Jeter. And they can't get the double play with Ichiro. I think whatever chance they might have had, it would have been Cano just touching the bag and firing across his body.
Yeah, let's see here. He's going to leave it out there for Jeter. It looked like Jeter has... Oh, that's what happened. He almost turned his ankle on the bag and couldn't complete the play to first base. He steps on the side of the bag. I thought his footwork was off or something, but you can see why. Because he almost turned his ankle. I'm not sure they would have had a double play. Here we have it on yes mode. Which, oh man, it just hurts to look at something like that. And it decides to hold on to the ball.
Now, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. For those that don't know, the bags are almost rubberized. And you're wearing spikes, and you're going to slip on it sometimes if you don't just hit it perfectly. And his foot slid and turned, but looks like he's okay. Figgins grounds one foul.
I saw Berkman the other day, and that was definitely, you could see that he was going to be injured when he stepped on the heel of Brian Bullington in Kansas City. It looked like a basketball injury. And Berkman eventually went on the DL.
One outside. There's a strike. Fouled away.
You know, one thing Figgins has done, we talked about him having a slow year. He's coming up on 250 with his batting average, but he does have 30 stolen bases this year. That's 7 straight years with at least 30. No other player's done that.
Swing and a miss. And Figgins down on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 6-0 Seattle. A car when you can own a Land Rover.
And let's go to the first thing. Russell Branyan with 2 men on. This is headed for the Yankee bullpen. A 3-run shot, his 17th of the year. And for good measure, in the 6th, a solo shot, his 18th straightaway center. Russell Branyan with our Land Rover drives of the game.
Pena leads off against Hernandez, and he grounds one to second. Booted there by Figgins, stays with it, and there's one away. How about this, Kenny? Branyan has 6 home runs in 10 games here at the new stadium. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be 48 home runs and still have a game left over a full season, just at home.
You know what? I thought I saw him with that I Love New York sticker.
I wonder if Darren Brown's going to wear that. The new Mariner manager has never been in New York, as Kenny mentioned, and he's having a happy first day. Pitch to Gardner is a strike.
I believe this is his 16th game, and if the Mariners go on the way, he'll be 10-6.
Off speed, beautiful pitch.
Oh, my goodness. This is what Michael's talking about. He's just dealing.
So you get the feeling, you know, the Yankees would never admit it, but the way he's pitched against them in the past, and Kenny just showed you the 2 home runs by Branyan, you almost get the feeling when that ball landed in the bullpen in the first inning, the game was over.
Yeah, he just a matter of him doing the job, and so far he has. Yeah, he's got 10 strikeouts in the game. And for us to show you all of them, it would take a while.
So are we going to select just a couple?
Just the
How about 5? How about half?
Half of them. Yeah.
Right. Last 3 starts against the Yankees, that's what he's done. All complete game wins. One, 2. Looped into left field. That is going to fall for a base hit.
All right, the last 5 strikeouts. Only half of them. That's all we have time for. And it's Teixeira, caught looking. Cano, caught looking. Then the next 3 in the 7th, all swinging. Swisher, Granderson, and Cervelli. Awesome pitcher. Now he's going up on their Mount Rushmore. He stays with Seattle for a lengthy period of time.
And has to stay healthy.
Yeah, that too.
Here's Jeter. Jeter's 1 for 3. So Gardner's at first. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Moore, and that allows Gardner to go to second.
Who would you put on the Mount Rushmore for the Mariners?
Griffey.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson.
Gotcha.
Edgar Martinez.
Yep.
Jay Buhner.
Jay Buhner's getting up there.
Alex Rodriguez. Joey Cora. Ichiro.
How about Julio Cruz?
No.
No, not Julio Cruz?
No. You know who's got to be on there?
Alvin Davis?
No. I mean, Mario Mendoza. I mean, he invented a line. He's the guy of the Mendoza line.
Yeah, but that was when he was in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
he's on the Pirates. Mount Rushmore.
No, it'd have to be Griffey, Johnson, Ichiro,
and Edgar Martinez.
And you know what? You could really make an argument for A-Rod. He was great when he was there. I guess he wasn't. I wonder if he was there as long as Griffey.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Oh, and Griffey came back, too.
There's only 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore.
Right back to Hernandez. How about this? He's going to get Gardner in a rundown, which isn't the smartest thing to do when you have a 6-0 lead. He's tagged out. You should just get the sure out. Or maybe he's thinking about saving a shutout.
Well, when you're down 6-0, I don't think you should be getting into a rundown either. You got to make sure the ball gets by you. So there's a 1-5. Is that 6?
Yeah.
And 1-5-6 on the putout.
You know what? That's a great point, Kenny. It's a worse job by Gardner than it is by Felix Hernandez.
And still is a runner in scoring position. Give Gardner credit for staying in the rundown long enough so Jeter can get to second. So there's only 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
So there should be only 4 players on each team's Mount Rushmore. That makes it more difficult.
Makes it very difficult. Yeah. Well, there's more rock. You know, you could actually carve a couple more presidents in there. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Have you ever seen Mount Rushmore live?
No, only pictures.
Yeah. Me neither.
Those guys got big heads, you know.
I know the feeling. The 1-1. Foul back.
Lincoln, Washington, Teddy Roosevelt, and Jefferson, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Now, I know they have to repair those every so often. They have to.
Little facelift.
Yeah.
Yep. Shoot some Botox into the rock. The 1-2. So it has to be 4. Okay, so it would be Randy Johnson.
Yeah. Griffey. Edgar Martinez.
Yeah, and who's number 4? Ichiro. Yeah. Although if it was by popularity in Seattle, Jay Buhner would be on that rock. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout rung up by Felix Hernandez. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're going to the 9th inning. Mariners lead the Yankees 6-0. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. Hey guys, what's up? For the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones recap all the action from this game and catch us up on the playoff race around the majors. Plus, get Joe Girardi's reaction at his post-game press conference. It's all coming up later, and it's only on Yes. Here's Russell Branyan. He's left the yard twice. And Godin deals high.
Second time this year, he's hit a couple home runs in a game. He did it with the Cleveland Indians before being traded to Seattle this year.
Goes the other way and lofts a high fly ball to shallow left. Moving toward the line as Gardner, and there's one away. New third baseman for the Yankees, Eduardo Nunez, takes over third base for Ramiro Pena.
Yeah, he was out here earlier today, and Mick Kelleher, the Yankee first base coach and infield instructor, was actually working him out at second. So working on turning the double play. And now we see Nunez at third. He can play shortstop. He and Pena play all over the infield.
High fly ball. Left center. Granderson for the second out. Some action in the bullpen. See if they allow Felix to try for the complete game. He has 12 complete games in his career and 5 this year. But he's at 117 pitches. It wouldn't make much sense to push him for Darren Brown, the manager, and you see Garrett Olson warming up. And Gutierrez with a high fly ball. Granderson is there, and he puts it away. So Chad Godin works a scoreless 2 innings in relief of A.J. Burnett. Is King Felix coming out for his final 9th inning coronation? Stick around and find out. Here in the stadium, complete coverage starts at noon with batting practice today presented by Audi, followed by the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Ken Singleton and I are back with the call. Mariners Yankees tomorrow at noon. It's only on Yes. 6-0 Seattle over the Yankees. And a new pitcher is Garrett Olson on in relief of Felix Hernandez, who will not get his third straight complete game victory against the Yankees this year, and they want Olson to hold it down here in the 9th, get the final 3 outs.
Yeah, there are the numbers for Olson this year. And, one thing to remember, that the Mariners bullpen has not been as good as the starting pitching during the course of the whole season. Well, this is a game where Olsen's entrusted with a half a dozen run lead.
Austin Kearns, Robinson Cano, and Nick Swisher. And a strike.
And Olsen falls in a category we were talking about earlier, that one of the players that spent part of the year down at AAA Tacoma. Olsen now actually started with the Baltimore Orioles.
He's had 4 appearances in his career against the Yankees with an ERA of 5.65. The 1-1. Foul back to the screen. Hernandez trying to pick up his 9th victory of the year. He's 8-10. He lowered his ERA. Now he needs his bullpen to get 3 outs. Strike 3. Kearns down looking.
You know, you got the feeling as you watch the game progress, and with Hernandez on the mound, once he got that 3-run lead in the first, he was not giving it back.
Games you might care about, and Bob Lorenz will update you on the postgame. Toronto 15-2 over Boston. That's in the 7th. Tampa Bay and Oakland will start in about 20 minutes. Yankees have a game lead over the Rays in the American League East. Here's Cano. Strike. Minnesota leading the Angels 7-1 in the 7th inning. And the White Sox and the Royals, it's raining in Kansas City. And Kenny, you know the feeling about that.
Don't remind me. It was also hot in Kansas City, too.
1-1.
Great ribs, though.
Wind starting to whip up here at the stadium, blowing straight in.
You must be speaking of the game that John and I were doing when the 2 hours plus rain delay. You didn't stay up for all that, did you?
You know what? I did. And I actually felt for you guys.
What a trooper.
I kept going back and forth, and I kept saying, I'd see a little rain delay logo. I go, oh, they must be chapped.
And, you know, to me, it's just baseball. That stuff happens. But during that 2-hour rain delay, they had time to build a roof.
Or an arc.
Yeah, it's something. I'll throw something up like Safeco.
That's the best retractable dome in baseball,
yeah,
I think, in the country.
That's an awesome ballpark.
3-2. Foul back. Cano tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. Olsen with the payoff. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Let's check that breaking ball out on the Coors Light freeze cam. Check this out, Kenny.
Well, the Yankees now struck out 13 times in this game, and there's what Michael's talking about. You freeze it right there, watch it dot and then drop towards the plate.
Hard pitch to hit. Marcus Timms going to pinch hit for Nick Swisher. As I give Timms a swing against the left-hander. Timms a .314 hitter this year, 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. That one's hit deep to center field. Gutierrez back. He has room, and he'll make the play as the Yankees lose this one 6-0. So Darren Brown, his first time in New York, He gets a victory, and he's now 10-6.